In this video, we're going to be reviewing a Craftsman belt drive garage door opener motor. We're going to talk about some design features of this motor. We're going to go over some pro tips on how to install it. And at the end of the video, we're going to answer the question, who should buy it? Let's do this. Hey party people, Santiago from SOS Garage Door Service, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Why? Because on this channel we provide you pro tips and tech reviews for all your residential garage door needs. When I was a little kid, the Craftsman name or brand was a staple around my house. In fact, my father used and loved Craftsman tools because they were good quality and they had a lifetime warranty. And since that time, Craftsman has dabbled into a number of products from pro tools to lawn mowers, even to garage door opener motors. So in this video, I wanted to review one of Craftsman's garage door opener motor, one of their belt drive motors, to see if it stacked up with the likes of Chamberlain, Genie, and even LiftMaster. Now the garage door opener motor that we're going to be reviewing is the CMXEOCG781. Is that right? Wow, that's kind of long. Anyways, this garage door opener motor has very similar design features and qualities like that of the Chamberlain and LiftMaster brand. In fact, this garage door opener motor is a rebranded Chamberlain motor that you'll find in very similar models such as your B970, 980, your LiftMaster 8550 WLB, and of course, some of the Raynor brands and other brands that happen to rebrand their product to look like their own, even though it's made by the Chamberlain Group Corporation. Now, if you know me, I don't talk about specs. If you're interested in specs or specifications, please visit Craftsman's website. There you're going to get all the specs that your heart desires with regards to the information that pertains to this specific garage door opener motor. In fact, they have a number of other motors that are very similar to this particular model. Again, the CMXEOCG781. Really? Okay. Anyways, so check out the website, see if it tickles your fancy. If you happen to find another model that is similar to that one, I'm pretty sure you're going to get a similar design language, a similar experience, but let's go ahead and get into this particular product. Now the body of this motor mimics very closely to the LiftMaster red color branding, but its design language is closer to the Chamberlain style. Now the unboxing experience is very similar to that of the retail products that you're going to find within the Chamberlain name. So if you've ever worked on or seen a Chamberlain box, the Craftsman box, how it's packaged, how it's designed, and what comes in it is virtually the same. So as you unpack this particular garage door opener, you're going to find all the peripherals from the remote transmitters, battery backup, sensors, wall button, and even the rail assembly, which we're going to get into here in a second. Now Chamberlain provides a color-coded installation manual that, after a little bit of studying, you should have no problem in installing its garage door opener motor. But Craftsman, like the day of old, sticks with a Bible-style manual, and it is not easy to interpret or read. In fact, I found that this manual was very tedious because there was a lot of the explanation of the installation process that it could have been simplified with that color-coded manual that Chamberlain provides. Quite frankly, I don't know why it wasn't provided. Maybe it's something that only Chamberlain offers, even though that on the Genie side you can get something similar, but I was surprised nonetheless to see that the Craftsman product did not have it. So, that being said, if you're interested in getting a better or smoother installation process, manual setup, or reference, then I would probably download one of the Craftsman installation manuals that are color-coded to provide you a little bit more guidance. And there's always the Built app. The Built app, even though it only offers one Chamberlain brand of garage door opener motor and how to install, if you can install that motor, then you can pretty much install any of the Chamberlain and Craftsman series motors that come from the retail channel. Now it's going to be all about that rail assembly, and you know me, party people, I do not like pieced rail assemblies or retail rail assemblies. I just simply don't. They're tedious, they're hard to install sometimes. If you miss a step or you miss one of the pieces to the rail assembly, you got to start all over. I am not a fan. Say it with me, people. Say it with me, party people. One piece rail. One piece rail. And as a contractor, I like to provide a one-piece rail. So if you're looking to do this installation on your own, keep in mind that you have to follow the installation process of the rail assembly meticulously, so that way you have no hang-ups in doing the final install. Now, one of the aspects of that rail assembly is the D-shaped threaded shaft. That D-shaped threaded shaft has to be put on a specific way to the belt assembly. So if you're not careful and you actually flip it on its other side, or you put that D-shaped threaded shaft in a way that it's not going to be able to slide easily through the trolley carriage hole, then again, you're going to have to start taking off that master link, and you're going to have to take the time to redo that step and that process over. So keep in mind that when you're installing this retail pieced rail assembly, you're going to find those challenges. In fact, Craftsman does a good job of providing the master link connector for the belt to the trolley carriage. So if you lose that part, please keep in mind that you will not be able to continue the process of installation, because that is key in getting that threaded shaft onto the belt and thus getting the belt onto the rail. Now, one thing I've noticed in other YouTube videos and the installation process of these rail assemblies is that some guys will actually install that rail assembly where the trolley carriage is way close to the motor. And quite frankly, that is not the proper way to install that trolley carriage on the rail assembly. Whenever you're installing the rail onto the garage door motor, you want to make sure that the trolley carriage is closer to the garage door. Now, it doesn't have to be all the way up against the rail close to the door. You want it probably like maybe a fourth of the travel on the rail assembly. That's to allow you to be able to connect the door to the garage door opener trolley carriage and then start the actual programming process to the travel limits. I can't tell you how many times I go into a customer's house and they've tried to install this rail assembly and program the travel limits, but they say, I don't know what I did wrong, or it's not programming properly. It's when I'm wanting to close it, it's opening. When I want to open it, it's closing. Well, again, it's because they did not calculate properly the positioning of that travel carriage, that trolley carriage, so that way, once they did program the travel, it was going to set its travel limits properly. Now, when it comes to the design language of the remote transmitter and wall button, I'm really not a fan of what Craftsman does. Their design language to the remote transmitter is very bulky, boxy, and just doesn't have any finesse to it. In fact, their wall button is just the same, even though it is an illuminated LCD wall button that you would get out of the Chamberlain and LiftMaster side. Still, it's just not that pretty. Now, that aside, because that is a personal preference, that aside, they function just the same. They're going to get the job done, and for functionality, they're going to do it. They're going to basically take care of you. So for looks, I'm not a huge fan of it, but for functionality, the remote transmitters and wall button are perfectly fine. Now, with the installation of the MyQ app, Chamberlain makes it easy for anyone to set up their account name, set up their password, and set up their device onto their MyQ account. But I did find that with this particular Craftsman product, it was not as easy. In fact, we had to help the customer contact Chamberlain and Craftsman to see if they could get his account connected to his device. Now, I don't know if that was just specific to his situation. I don't know if that was specific to his router device or his internet service at home. All I can simply say is that we went through the steps and the process on getting his MyQ account set up and connected with the device, but at the end of the day, or at the end of the installation, it was not recognizing it. So whether that is a design feature or perhaps maybe a design flaw with MyQ and Craftsman, I'm not 100% sure yet. But what I can tell you is that you should be able to set up the MyQ account easily, but if you're not able to get the network to recognize, or I should say your account, to recognize the device, then it's best that you contact Craftsman or Chamberlain to help you with that setup. So my overall thoughts of the Craftsman CMXEOCG781, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get used to saying that, are fair. I should say this motor is a fair garage door opener that can be purchased in your retail channel locations, pretty much your big box stores and of course your big online stores. In fact, I'll have some affiliate links down below in the description if you're interested in looking into that. It would really help out the channel. This garage door opener is a solid experience. It's very close, or it mimics closely what the Chamberlain retail site is doing. And quite frankly, as a motorhead, as a motorbox, it offers a lot of great features. You're going to get a 1 horsepower solid DC motor. You're going to get the battery backup. You're going to get the Wi-Fi connectivity. It has 2 fixtures for lights, which you can use, which by the way, I recommend going with a garage door rated LED light bulb that Chamberlain now offers. Links in the description down below if you're interested. And at the same time, thinking how perhaps maybe Craftsman has tried to solidify and hold on to that branding. Because again, when I think of Craftsman, I think of my childhood. I think of those days that my dad used to own the Craftsman tools, and he had a lot of them. And I remember him saying to me that Craftsman was the best brand, because if it ever broke, he could go back and just return it and they'd give him a new one. And as a contractor, now and here in my early 40s, I've actually experienced the same thing. I've had a Craftsman tool go bad at me. I used to take it to Sears, well, when Sears was open, you know, and I would be able to get a new one easily. Now, with the garage door opener motors, that's just not always the case. I mean, you do get a solid warranty on the motor. They will give you a solid warranty on the motor. You can check the website for that. But it's just not as easy to taking their product and going back in. So if they're not offering you a service contract, or if you're not looking to get a service contract with a local contractor, then you know, you're just going to have to pretty much deal with whatever comes out of this motor throughout the years. Now, who should buy this garage door opener motor? Well, I feel that anyone who is strong in the do-it-yourself realm or has the ability to do their own projects at home should have no problem with this motor. Again, if you're looking to install it by yourself, the Bible manual that is provided for you will give you a lot of meticulous details on how to get that done. Or you can simply download the Chamberlain color-coded manual installation process, or what they offer as a manual for the installation, which is virtually the same thing. And if you're a little bit more tech savvy, download the Built app, and that will help you too. Now, if you're a property manager, you're probably going to want to find a garage door opener that is not as feature-rich, unless you're looking to appease or provide some added extra features to your property for your current tenants. At the same rate, if you're a dealer installer, you can easily install this motor. I have all the confidence in the world that you dealer installers are able to do that. Of course, if you have the option and you're willing to give a deal to your customer, offer them the dealer contractor version within the LiftMaster brand that's equivalent to this particular model. Now, if you're looking for a high-end, excellent garage door opener experience for your home and you want pretty much the best of the best, well, I think maybe you can look at other garage door openers within the LiftMaster brand that can offer that. Quite frankly, Craftsman is still a great brand, still a great name, but the ticks or nuances or the specific design language to this garage door opener do not scream elite, do not scream pro to me. They are just simply nice, strong features for a solid garage door opener experience. And if you're into that, well, go ahead and go with this model. Affiliate links down below if you want to check that out. And as always, the pro tips, techniques, and opinions in this video should not be considered infallible or law. Why? Because I am nobody. In fact, this review was made possible by a purchased garage door opener that was installed by SOS Garage Door Service. Craftsman did not pay SOS Garage Door Service to make a review of this garage door opener motor. In fact, they didn't even get an approval copy. And that's just to provide you, the viewer, an honest and straightforward opinion to make a better buying decision. Thank you guys so much for watching. Y'all stay safe.